Well, JD, well, he couldn't hold it together very long. Yeah, it was much too hard for him to try to hide his never Trumper ways. Yes, once a snake, always a snake. Vice President elect J.D. Vance faces flack from own party for helping Democrats push through Biden judicial nominees. A never Trumper never changes, you know? But fear not, MAGA. Fear not. If you are a Donald Trump follower and supporter, don't fear. All it shows is this jackass is being seen, and he's going to be ridiculed like you've never seen. Because never Trumpers are called never Trumpers for a reason. I mean, they named themselves that. It's because they serve the jackass party. They're rhinos. Yeah, so he doesn't support Make America Great Again. But fear not. Just remember that, because his ass will not be elected in 4 years, which is the only reason he chummied up to Don Jr. and the Trumps, because that's how dirty and disgusting snakes like this are. His last name really is like Bowden. It's not Vance. He really should change it back. Yeah, just really, please change it back, JD. It's a disgrace. And Trump was saying, because he retruthed this, the Democrats are trying to stack the courts with radical left judges on their way out the door. Republican senators need to show up and hold the line. Show up and hold the line. No more judges confirmed before Inauguration Day. But apparently, JD, the never Trumper and still is, decided this was more important. I tend to think it's more important to get an FBI director who will dismantle the deep state than it is for Republicans to lose a vote 49 to 46 rather than 49 to 45. But that's just me. So he deleted these posts. Soon after the posts were deleted, Vance appeared in the Senate chamber and voted against a federal nominee to a court in Oregon. Yeah, I know, JD, you can't stand it. You can't stand to serve the Make America Great Again agenda. Yeah, this is who he is. This cocky, shitty, never Trumper. I mean, I tend to think it's more important to get an FBI director. There is no FBI director that's going to dismantle the deep state, you jackass. There isn't. I mean, the FBI itself it is the deep state. It's not in the Constitution. They've not ever had a confirmed charter. Okay? They're just some freewheeling, law enforcement agency, and I hate saying that. For the good FBI agents, they can be put in the U.S. Marshals, or there's something else. But the FBI is part of the deep state. How does J.D. Vance not know that? But he thought it was more important? Well, that shows what that Harvard education did for you, you jackass. I mean, jackass, that's the party he serves. I'm not being mean. The jackass is the donkey party. It's just another name for donkey. The never Trumpers are rhinos, Republicans in name only. They don't change. These are the people that they cause the division within the true conservative party. They do, because they're no different than an Adam Kinzinger. They're the biggest losers of all. I've always said this about the rhinos. They are worse than Democrats because they run on tickets lying to people. I mean, think about it. He got close to the president through Don Jr. because he chummied up to Don Jr. What a piece of shit. Snake. A jackass. This is what jackasses do, because that's what he is. He's a donkey. The never Trumpers are donkeys. It's not just, we hate Trump. No, they're rhinos. So they don't change. But Trump knew that. So fear not, those that support Trump. This is what Trump does. This is exactly what he wanted to do. And Steve Bannon was calling JD out. But it didn't take long, JD, for you to show that you're just a smart ass that thinks you know best, but you don't even know well enough that the FBI is part of the deep state. I mean, come on. That's how stupid you are. But he's not. Well, it's hard to say. With these people, they're sort of stupid because of what they serve. But at the same time, they're great at being little manipulators. So that's where they're smart and cunning at doing stuff like that. But otherwise, they're really stupid people. So... No wonder he went to Harvard. But again, these are lifetime appointments, and you make some comment like this, but then delete it. And the reason the appointments were more important is because if the Democrats are not able to confirm Biden's appointments, Trump could see much of his legislation, including mass deportation plan, pass through the courts unchallenged over the next 4 years. So anybody with a brain could figure out which was more important. It clearly isn't going and finding the FBI director that's going to take down the deep state. It's this, isn't it? But this is the kinds of stupid excuses the rhinos make. And rhinos, they truly, they're the worst of the bunch. I put the Democrats above the rhinos because the rhinos just spend their life lying to people. They're the dirtiest of the bunch, the lowest of the bunch. So at least we all know this. J.D. Vance will never be elected to president, never. But he's probably hoping something will happen to Trump, and he's probably off planning that with the FBI. I'm just making that up. I'm just being facetious. I'm not saying that. I'm not basing that on anything other than that's the kind of stuff I could see that these never Trumpers do. Because he's not about the Make America Great Again party. He just wants to be the one heading it up while he lies to you. Well, we will make sure that you are never elected for president. So don't worry about that, JD. But you really should be more worried about Trump. You never Trumpers will never learn that, well, he's much smarter than you, and he puts you as the VP for a reason. So do you remember some of the things that Trump said about Rubio and Cruz? Like during the first round when he was running? Yeah, don't just assume he said that stuff because it was, running against people. So Rubio didn't show up either, but I would expect that from Rubio. So is it getting obvious that Trump puts these people out there for a reason? Like the J.D. Vance thing, putting a never Trumper as vice president was like, what? So at this point, I think it's obvious that what Trump is doing is exposing everybody. He's way smarter than these people. And then, I saw one article where these guys were all like, huddling together and meeting together over who knows what other things they're planning, but they're not about making the country good. So just remember who they are, because these people, no matter what they say on the news, they don't change. Rhinos and never Trumpers they're about as addicted, attached, obsessed with their ideology as the far left is, because that's who they serve, and they help divide the conservative party. They're always Democrats. Adam Kinzinger out of Illinois, he's one. Cheney. They are people that were never, ever a conservative, never a Republican, but they lie to all their constituents. The people believe what they say, and they're nothing but deadbeat jerks. I know I'm being harsh, but for good reason. This was an easy one. The only reason you wouldn't show up to a vote is because you're trying to help the other side. So at least we all can see who J.D. Vance is. And this was a post he put up from a week ago, and I just thought people should see just how, he's so smart. One of the most important skills I see in successful and good people is to constantly reevaluate assumptions. No, you really shouldn't, like I should have not reevaluated my assumptions, my gut with you, JD. They make predictions based on various inputs, some of them unknown, and reevaluate based on what they got right and wrong. Did Harvard teach you that? They trust people not because they're always right, no one is, but because if you're constantly seeing the truth, it's easy to identify those who are doing the same. Oh, well, guess what, JD? We all see the truth about you, and you will never be in any presidential role. And, well, Donald Trump knows exactly what he's doing. Good luck to you, JD.